That strange feeling that you woke up in a slightly different world. That's not in your head. It's confirmation. You have just experienced what we call a quantum threshold event. It's a real, measurable decoherence of your consciousness from an old timeline. In the next 45 minutes, I will prove it to you. I will give you the undeniable signs of this shift and the new rules for navigating this higher path you finally pulled into. So if you felt a mix of loneliness and excitement, like you're holding a secret you don't understand, you are in precisely the right place. This is not spirituality as you know it. This is physics. The quantum threshold event is the moment your internal frequency, the cumulative vibration of your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, reaches a critical point of resonance. At this point, it can no longer coexist on the same probability wave as your old reality. The science for this is called quantum decoherence. It's the process by which a system's behavior changes due to its interaction with its environment. In this case, you are the system, and your consciousness is the environment. You have changed your internal state so profoundly that the external reality you observe must branch into a new timeline that matches your new signature. This isn't a metaphor. It is the literal function of an observer-dependent universe. You stopped observing the world that was, and you began observing the world that could be, and in that persistent observation you collapsed the wave function into a new state. You pulled your reality into a new lane. This is why everything feels so strange. It's why you experience this disquieting feeling of being an outsider in your own life. The memories are yours, but they feel like they belong to a different person. The job, the relationships, the daily routines, they continue, but there is a subtle dissonance, a hum of unfamiliarity beneath the surface. It's the echo of a timeline you no longer inhabit. Old friends feel distant, not because of an argument, but because the energetic connection that once bound you has stretched thin across dimensions. Conversations feel hollow. Past interests that once consumed you now feel like artifacts from another era, gathering dust on a shelf. You feel a sense of quiet waiting, an anticipation for something you can't name, because your entire being knows it has arrived in a new space, but hasn't yet received the new operating manual. This is not loss, it is evidence. It is the clearest proof that you have outgrown the frequency of your old reality. Have you ever looked at a memory or an old friend and felt like you were observing it from behind a pane of glass? That is the feeling of timeline separation. If this scientific validation of your intuition resonates, hit the like button now. It confirms for the algorithm that this is a critical message for others experiencing this shift. So many people are asking, what are awakening signs? But they're looking for fireworks, for angelic visitations, or grand cinematic events. The real signs are far more subtle and scientific. They are these quiet, persistent feelings of dislocation. They are the evidence of a fundamental shift in your physics of being. To understand this, we must introduce the central metaphor for your new environment, the quantum expressway. Your entire life up to this point has been spent on the local roads of reality. These roads are dense with traffic, governed by stop signs, red lights, and friction. Progress is slow, linear, and requires immense effort. It's a world dictated by classical Newtonian physics. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. You push, the world pushes back. You work hard, you grind, you struggle, and you inch forward. The quantum threshold event was you merging onto the on-ramp. You have now pulled onto a higher vibrational highway, the quantum expressway. Here, the rules are different. The physics are different. This reality is faster, more direct, and operates on principles of resonance and flow, not force and friction. But it requires a completely new way of driving. Trying to operate with your old methods on this new path is the source of all your current frustration. It's like trying to obey traffic lights on a road where none exist. You are not going crazy. You are recalibrating. By the end of this transmission, you will move from questioning your sanity to confidently wielding the physics of your new reality. To understand the physics of this new path, you first have to honor the physics of the old one. The reality you just left operated under a very specific set of laws. Think of it as the local roads of existence. Dense city traffic. Every single movement was governed by classical Newtonian physics. To move an object, you had to apply force. To achieve a result, you had to execute a linear sequence of actions over a period of time. It was a world of cause and effect, of effort and resistance. You pushed the accelerator, the engine burned fuel, the wheels turned, and you moved forward, inch by painstaking inch, stuck in traffic you couldn't control. This was the paradigm of hustle, the paradigm of grind. It was a reality based on high resistance. Every goal felt like it was uphill. Every dream was on the other side of a massive, unavoidable traffic jam of circumstance. You were taught that the only way to get there faster was to push harder, to burn more fuel, to honk your horn louder, but you were still fundamentally trapped in the same gridlocked system as everyone else. Your progress was measured by how much you were willing to struggle against the friction of that dense reality. But inside of you, a different engine was coming online. Through your inner work, your meditation, your choices to hold a higher thought, you began to generate a new kind of energy. A vibrational frequency that was fundamentally out of sync with the stop-and-go rhythm of the local roads. You were building resonance with something faster, smoother, more direct. And that is what triggered your merge. This is the moment we call the quantum threshold event. It's a critical distinction to make. This was not a location you traveled to. It was a vibrational state you stabilized into. Imagine your consciousness is a radio receiver. For years, you were tuned to 98.7 FM, the station of struggle, traffic, and Newtonian physics. All of your inner work was you, slowly, deliberately, turning the dial. You moved past the static, past the faint signals of other stations, until you perfectly locked onto a new frequency, 101.3 FM, the quantum expressway. The quantum threshold event is the precise moment the new signal becomes clearer than the old one. It's the point of quantum decoherence, where your observation and energy field can no longer sustain a coherent connection to that old dense timeline. The old world doesn't cease to exist, but it collapses out of your primary field of reality. You have decohered from it. You are no longer in that traffic jam. You have stabilized your consciousness in a parallel stream of reality that matches your new higher internal frequency. And this is why everything you used to do has stopped working. This is the source of your frustration. You are on a highway capable of moving at the speed of light, but you are still trying to pedal a bicycle. You are applying the old rules of force and effort to a new environment that operates on entirely different principles. Pushing harder on the pedals won't work here. The method is fundamentally incompatible with the new physics of your environment. All it does is exhaust you and create the illusion that you are stuck, when in fact, you have never been more powerfully positioned to move. Your struggle is not a sign of failure. It is the friction burn of using an obsolete operating system in a brand new reality. This is the core of the consciousness shift explained. You haven't just changed your mind, you have changed your fundamental interaction with space-time. Welcome to the new paradigm. The physics of the quantum expressway are not Newtonian. They are quantum. They are not local, they are non-local. This path has almost zero resistance. Here, reality is governed not by force, but by resonance. Not by hustle, but by observation. You don't get to your destination by pushing through traffic. You get there by tuning your conscious energy to the vibrational frequency of the destination. And in doing so, you find you are already in that lane. It's not about pushing harder, it's about tuning clearer. It is a reality of flow, of synchronicity, of instantaneous manifestation, because you are no longer fighting the current. You have become the current. Where in your life have you been pushing the accelerator to the floor yet feel like you're not moving, when maybe the real task is to simply choose a different lane? We have been operating under a fundamental illusion, a deeply ingrained, almost invisible assumption that this consciousness shift, this quantum threshold event, is something that happened to us. We see ourselves as passengers on a strange new road, confused by the speed, disoriented by the new landscape, feeling like we were somehow pushed onto this exit without our consent. We feel a subtle hopelessness in this, a sense that we are victims of a cosmic current we don't understand. But here lies the central paradox, the one that unlocks the entire architecture of your new reality. The great revelation is this: the shift was not an accident, it was an appointment. It is something that was orchestrated meticulously by the only part of you with the authority to make such a decision. It was orchestrated by the part of you that already exists at the destination, your higher self. Let that land for a moment. The version of you that is already living the reality you are moving toward, the fully actualized, highest frequency expression of your consciousness, reached back through the quantum foam of potentials and plotted a course for you. It laid down the tracks for this quantum expressway, knowing it would be the most direct, most efficient, and fastest route from where you were to where it is. This single truth changes everything. It means the disorientation you feel is not a symptom of being lost. It is a planned and necessary part of the journey. It is the sensory experience of your old neurological and energetic patterns dissolving under the pressure of a higher frequency. It is the static between radio stations. The feeling of confusion is not a problem to be solved. It is a progress report. It confirms the system update is underway. This means you are not lost. I will say it again. You are not lost. You are more precisely on course than you have ever been in your entire existence. The feeling of being untethered is simply the feeling of no longer being anchored in a reality that was limiting you. You feel like you're floating because you finally cut the ropes holding your balloon to the ground. You are precisely on schedule, following a pre-calculated trajectory plotted by the most intelligent and loving aspect of your own being. And most importantly, this means you have a built-in guidance system you've just been ignoring or misinterpreting. Your intuition is not some vague mystical hope. It is a direct, coherent signal being broadcast from your destination self. It is your internal GPS, and every ping, every gut feeling, every moment of sudden knowing is a real-time directional update. The moments of unease are course correction alerts. The moments of peace are confirmations you are holding the correct heading. This understanding demands a radical shift in your approach to life itself. You must stop being a driver and become a navigator. Think about it. Driving is an act of force and control. It's about gripping the steering wheel, pushing the accelerator, fighting traffic, focusing on the few feet of pavement in front of you. Driving is a function of the ego, rooted in the old Newtonian paradigm of effort and resistance. It's what you were doing on the local roads, and it's why you have been so frustrated, because you have been trying to drive on a road that is designed for something else entirely. Navigation is different. Navigation is an act of awareness and resonance. The new methodology is about learning to read the data that is constantly flowing around you. It's about interpreting the quantum road signs, those repeating numbers you see, the words that seem to follow you everywhere, the chance encounters that feel anything but random. Those are not coincidences. They are your signposts. They are confirmations and exit ramps placed there by your navigator. It's about listening to the guidance system, that quiet inner voice, that feeling in your chest that says yes to one thing and no to another, is your primary instrument. To ignore it now is like a pilot ignoring air traffic control in a storm. Your intuition has been upgraded from a helpful suggestion to your primary operational directive. And critically, it's about holding the feeling state of the destination. A navigator doesn't just look at the map. They are in constant communication with the end point. You must learn to feel in your body, right now, the emotional frequency of the reality you chose. That feeling is the magnetic beacon. It is the signal you send out that allows your guidance system to triangulate your position and provide the next step. You don't get there by effort. You get there by becoming the vibrational equivalent of the destination itself. This changes your very identity. You are not a passenger, hoping for a better route. You are not a lost driver, white-knuckling the wheel through a strange new world. You are the quantum navigator. You consciously chose this expressway for its speed. You chose it for its directness. The part of you that knows your infinite potential became impatient with the stop-and-go traffic of the old reality. It saw the destination, and it chose the fastest path, even knowing that the acceleration would be intense. The loneliness, the confusion, the feeling of leaving things behind, that wasn't a punishment. That was the G-force of your own evolution. It was the price of admission for a high-speed transit to the life your soul demanded. You are not a victim of this change. You are its architect. What if every moment of confusion wasn't a sign you were lost, but a course correction signal from your own inner navigator? Your navigator has not been silent. It has been leaving you confirmation signs all along this new path, like quantum road signs on the side of the expressway. But these signs are not what you think. They are subtle, counterintuitive, and you have likely been misinterpreting every single one of them as a problem a setback, or a sign you are failing. I am about to show you the 3 most undeniable signs that you have successfully executed a quantum threshold event, and when you see them for what they are, your entire recent history will snap into focus. What felt like confusion will reveal itself as confirmation. The first sign is the most socially jarring. We will call it the fading of the social echo chamber. It's the strange feeling of sitting in a room with people you have known for years, people you love, and feeling like you are watching them through a pane of thick glass. The conversations that used to ignite you now feel hollow, like echoes from a life you used to lead. The dramas that once pulled you in now seem trivial, like static from a distant radio station. You find yourself muting group chats not out of anger, but out of a profound lack of resonance. You are not becoming antisocial. You are not losing your friends. You are experiencing a frequency mismatch. Think of it this way. You have spent your life tuned to a specific radio frequency, a station where certain topics, certain emotional patterns, and certain energetic exchanges were the daily broadcast. By doing your inner work, you have painstakingly intentionally turned the dial. You have tuned yourself to a clearer, higher frequency station. Now, when you are around those still tuned to the old station, you can't hear the music clearly anymore. All you hear is the static of the old frequency. This isn't a judgment, it is physics. The quiet detachment you feel is not a loss of connection. It is the evidence of your new vibrational address. You have moved out of that energetic neighborhood, and the old echoes are finally starting to fade. It is the clearest sign that you are no longer defined by the collective consensus, but by your own sovereign signal. The second sign is more profound, and it distorts the very fabric of your reality: the collapse of time. You have been experiencing this constantly. You sit down to work on something that puts you in a state of flow, and what feels like 20 minutes later, you look up and 3 hours have vanished. Conversely, you are forced to engage in a low-frequency task, and 5 minutes feels like an agonizing hour. The past feels less like a series of events you lived and more like a movie you watched a long time ago. The emotional charge is gone. It's a story about someone else. This is not poor time management. This is not a faulty memory. This is proof that you are beginning to operate in quantum time, not linear time. On the local roads of the old reality, time is a fixed grid, a predictable tick-tock progression. But on the quantum expressway, time is fluid. It is malleable. It stretches and compresses based on your state of consciousness. When you are in a state of high-frequency flow, love, creation, presence, you are moving so fast that linear time can barely keep up. You are literally outpacing the clock. When you are pulled back into a dense, low-frequency reality, time feels thick, slow, and resistant, like trudging through mud. Your inconsistent experience of time is one of the most powerful indicators that you have left a fixed Newtonian reality and entered a fluid, observer-dependent one. You are no longer riding on the tracks of time. You are learning to conduct its flow. The third sign is the one that causes the most fear, the most doubt. It is the one that makes people believe they have failed completely, right at the finish line. It is the experience of the benevolent void. This is a period where nothing seems to be happening. The desires that once drove you have turned to dust. The ambition that fueled your hustle has evaporated, but no new desires have crystallized to take their place. There is an emptiness, a quiet neutrality. It isn't depression, which is heavy and charged. It is a profound stillness, a state of waiting without knowing what you are waiting for. This is not stagnation. This is not a sign you are lost. This is the sacred, necessary reboot of your entire operating system. It is the quantum void state, the womb of all creation. Imagine your consciousness is a computer. You have just completed a massive system-wide upgrade from an old, slow, buggy operating system to a new, light-speed quantum one. The system must shut down completely before the new one can boot up. The benevolent void is that moment of the blank screen. It is the space between on-ramps. It is the fertile darkness where your higher self is uninstalling old programs of lack, struggle, and limitation to try and force an old goal or an old desire into this space would be to try and run outdated software on a new machine. It would crash the system. The void is benevolent because it protects you from creating more of the same. It is a divinely intelligent pause, It is the most potent sign that your next reality is loading, and it is so far beyond your old one that it requires a complete system reset. Do you see it now? The social detachment, the time skips, the empty void. These are not problems to be solved. They are not symptoms of failure. They are dashboard indicators. They are quantum road signs confirming that you are on the right path, at the right speed. They are the undeniable evidence that you, the quantum navigator, have successfully merged onto the higher path. Which of these signs have you been fighting against, and how does it feel to reframe it as evidence of your success? Comment which of these 3 signs has been the most undeniable for you. The social fade, the time, collapse, or the benevolent void. Let's create a record of this collective shift. I read every single comment. You understand the signs. You know you are the navigator. You have the intellectual framework, the evidence, the conviction that you are on a new and higher path. But knowledge is only the map. Experience is the territory. Now we will stop observing the quantum expressway, and we will become one with its flow. Find a comfortable position. If it is safe for you to do so, I invite you to gently close your eyes. Take a deep cleansing breath in, and as you exhale, release the day, release the mind, release the need to analyze. You are here now to feel. Let's begin by sensing the old energy, the frequency of the reality you have just departed. Bring your awareness to the memory of the local roads. Feel the stop-and-go energy in your body, the heavy, dense feeling of pushing against resistance, the constant friction of effort. Recall the sound of grinding, gears, the jarring halts at red lights, the frustration of traffic that seems to have no source and no end. Feel that old paradigm. It is a world built on force, on trying, on struggling, on needing to push the world into shape. Feel its weight, a heaviness in your shoulders, a tightness in your gut. This was the physics of your old timeline. Now, with your next exhale, I want you to feel that entire energetic structure simply dissolving. Let it go. It is not you anymore. Let the heavy coat of resistance fall from your shoulders. Feel the grinding gears go silent. Watch the dense gray energy of the old roads dissipate into a fine mist, and then into nothing at all. You are no longer bound by that physics. You have merged onto a different kind of reality. Bring your awareness now to the quantum expressway. Do not try to see it with your eyes. Sense it with your entire being. This is not a road of asphalt and concrete. It is a river of pure, coherent light, current of infinite potential flowing smoothly, silently, and effortlessly through space-time. There is no friction here. There is no resistance. There is only pure, frictionless, forward momentum. Feel its smoothness, its silent speed. Imagine what it feels like to move at the speed of thought without any sense of effort. This is the natural state of being in this higher frequency. It is a state of grace, a state of flow. For a moment, just be here. Be the silent observer in the eye, vehicle of your consciousness, feeling the incredible ease of this new path. The landscape of light streams past you, not as individual objects, but as waves of possibility. The air itself hums with a quiet, powerful vibration of peace and potential. This is your new environment. And now, we take the final step, the most important step. You are not here to be a passenger. You are not even here to be the driver. You are here to become the flow itself. Gently, allow the outline of your vehicle, the idea of a separate self driving along the path, to soften. Let the edges blur. Feel the boundary between you and this river of light begin to thin. Now, give yourself permission to dissolve. Let your consciousness merge completely with the expressway. You are no longer driving on the road. You are the road. You are the light. You are the current. There is no separation. There is no destination you are trying to get to, because you are the movement itself. You are the unfolding journey. Feel the expansion of this state. You are everywhere and everything along this path at once. The past and future are simply currents within the infinite now that you have become. Feel the freedom in this, the absolute liberation from striving. You are not going somewhere. You are simply becoming. And from this state of pure, unified flow, from this place of being the current of potential itself, I want you to gently allow a feeling to arise. Do not search for it with your mind. Simply allow it to emerge from the flow. What is the feeling tone of your next great unfolding? Your highest desired reality? Don't see a picture. Don't form words. Just sense the frequency. Is it a feeling of profound, unshakable peace? Is it the electricity of boundless creation? Is it the warmth of deep, unconditional love? Is it the exhilarating feeling of total freedom? Let that single, pure emotional resonance bubble up from within the flow. This feeling is not something you need to chase. It is a frequency that already exists within you, a harmonic of your true self. Identify it. Hold it. This feeling, this singular, pure vibration, this is your new navigational beacon. This is the compass for the quantum navigator. It is how you choose your lane. It is how you recognize your exit ramp. It is the physics of your new reality made manifest. Hold that feeling. Let it saturate every cell of your being as you remain one with the flow. And now, ever so gently, we begin to return. The sense of being the flow begins to coalesce back into a single point of awareness. You are no longer the entire expressway, but you carry its essence within you. You can feel the echo of that frictionless movement in your energy field. Gently bring your awareness back to your physical body. Feel the chair beneath you, the air on your skin. When you are ready, and only when you are ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Welcome back, Navigator. You carry the map and the territory within you now. As you became the flow, what single word or feeling emerged as the undeniable frequency of your higher path? You are not a person trying to get somewhere. You are a quantum navigator, and this is your control panel. The feeling you just embodied, that sense of becoming the flow itself, is not a temporary escape. It is your new default state of operation. It is your home frequency. The question is no longer if you are on the higher path, but how you consciously and deliberately drive on it every single moment of your day. How do you hold this state when the world of static and density attempts to pull you back into the old traffic jam? So for everyone wondering how to navigate a 5D shift, it starts with these three fundamental tools from the Quantum Navigator's control panel. The first tool is the most critical. It is the ignition sequence for your entire day. We call it frequency first, action second. In the old paradigm, the Newtonian reality of the local roads, your process was inverted. You decided on a goal, you created a plan, and then you applied force, effort, and action, hoping that at the end of that long, arduous journey, you would finally feel the feeling you were seeking. Action produced the feeling. On the Quantum Expressway, this is not only inefficient, it is impossible. It is like trying to push your car to the destination instead of turning on the engine. The engine of this new reality is frequency. It is the feeling state. So the new protocol is this. Before any significant action, before the difficult conversation, before you write the first line of your new project, before you even get out of bed, you stop. You close your eyes. And for just 60 seconds, you access the feeling state of the completed journey. Not the visualization of what it will look like, but the raw, somatic, emotional texture of the reality where it is already done. The relief, the freedom, the quiet confidence, the joy. You marinate in that frequency. You let it saturate every cell. This simple act calibrates your entire being to the correct vibrational lane on the expressway before you even start moving. Action taken from this state is no longer a struggle. It is an effortless unfolding. It is the natural, inspired next step that reveals itself from within the flow. The universe does not respond to your effort. It responds to your resonance. Feel it first. Then act. This is the first law of quantum navigation. The second tool is defensive. It's for managing the environment of the new expressway. We call it navigating interference patterns. As you stabilize your frequency, you will notice something strange. Old reality patterns, sudden waves of fear, intrusive doubts, the echoes of other people's drama will still appear. They will feel like sudden, jarring shifts in the atmosphere. In the past, you would have identified with these patterns. You would have grabbed onto them, wrestled with them, and in doing so, you would have swerved off the expressway and right back into the dense, slow traffic of the old world. Your new directive is to see these for what they are: phantom traffic. They are echoes from a lower, slower lane that your trajectory is now intersecting. They are not real in your new reality, but they appear on your screen as a kind of energetic ghost. They are interference patterns. When a wave of ancestral fear about money appears, it is not your fear. It is phantom traffic. When a friend calls to pull you into a familiar drama, it is not your reality. It is phantom traffic. Do not engage. Do not swerve. Do not try to fight it or analyze it. You simply acknowledge it, the way you would acknowledge a ghost car passing harmlessly through you on the highway, and you hold your frequency. You return to the feeling state you calibrated in the morning. You breathe. You observe it with detached neutrality, and you allow it to pass through you without hooking into your energy field. Each time you do this, its signal gets weaker. You are teaching your own system that this frequency is no longer a match for your reality. You are no longer an available docking station for that timeline. This single tool will be responsible for the greatest acceleration on your path. The third tool is for forward momentum. It's how you read the landscape ahead. We call it interpreting synchronicities as exit ramps. On the local roads, a coincidence was just a coincidence. A repeating number was a curiosity. On the quantum expressway, there are no coincidences. There is only data. There is only communication. Number sequences: 111, 444, 222. Words you hear repeated by 3 different people in one day. The exact song playing on the radio that speaks to your deepest question. These are not winks from the universe. They are road signs. They are intelligent markers indicating that your desired destination, the reality you are holding the frequency of, has an upcoming exit ramp. They are confirming that your current trajectory is correct and telling you where to look. Your job as a navigator is not to simply marvel at the signs, but to follow them with curious action. Curious action is not a massive, life-altering leap. It is a small, low-stakes step in the direction the sign is pointing. If you keep seeing the number 777 associated with spiritual wisdom, and your inner feeling is one of expansion, maybe the curious action is finally buying that book you've been thinking about. If the word pioneer keeps appearing, maybe the curious action is simply writing down one idea that feels radically new, without any commitment to it. You follow the signs not with blind faith, but with active curiosity. This signals to the quantum field that you are reading the map. And when you read the map, it gives you more detailed directions. These are your primary controls. To make them an integrated part of your new identity, we use a simple daily framework. In the morning, you set your frequency. 60 seconds. Calibrate to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. During the daytime, you navigate interference and follow the signs. You let phantom traffic pass, and you take curious action on the synchronicities you observe. In the evening, you review the data. You briefly reflect on the day. Which interference patterns showed up? Which signs did you follow? What was the result? You are not judging. You are simply gathering intelligence like the master navigator you are. This is the practice. This is how you move from being a passenger on the journey to the one in the driver's seat, consciously operating from a higher dimension of being. What is the very first interference pattern you will consciously allow to pass through you, instead of reacting to it? Starting today, you now have the validation. You have the signs. You have the tools. You understand with a certainty that resonates deep in your bones that you are not lost. You have never been lost. You are a navigator, and you are precisely on the higher path that your deepest self chose for you. The disorientation was a recalibration. The loneliness was the sound of an old frequency fading out. The void was the silent hum of your internal operating system upgrading to a new, more powerful version. But navigating your own lane is just the first level of mastery. The quantum expressway is not a solo journey. It is not a single road stretching into infinity. It is part of a vast, interconnected reality manifold, where every navigator's path, every choice of lane, every acceleration and deceleration sends ripples across the entire structure. You have been so focused on learning to drive your own vehicle that you haven't yet lifted your gaze to see the cosmic symphony of light you are a part of. You believed your destination was personal. That was the training phase. The next horizon is understanding that when you learn to consciously interact with the other navigators on their paths, You move from simply navigating reality to architecting it. This is where the physics become truly profound. When your stabilized frequency meets the principle of quantum entanglement, your thoughts no longer just choose your lane. They influence the entire grid. Your coherence strengthens the coherence of those around you. Your clarity helps dissolve the phantom traffic for others. You become a stabilizing beacon, a harmonic resonator that doesn't just travel the expressway, but actively upgrades the very material from which the expressway is built. This is the shift from participant to co-creator. Our next step in this journey is quantum entanglement explained, how your new reality connects to everything. From there, we will go even deeper with why. Synchronicity accelerates after a consciousness shift, because those signs you learn to read are about to start multiplying at an exponential rate. Now that you know how to navigate your own path, what if you could consciously influence the paths of those you love to create collective realities? Subscribe and turn on all notifications. In our next transmission, Quantum Entanglement Explained, how your new reality connects to everything, we explore how your shift begins to alter the world around you, and you will not want to miss the moment your personal journey becomes a planetary one. You have arrived. You are on the higher path. Welcome, Navigator. The real journey begins now.